Hello, everybody. I'd like to draw the meeting to order, please. And we'll jump right in with Mr. Parker on awards and recognitions.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Each month, Scott County Middle School recognizes students who displayed characteristics outlined in our profile of a learner. This evening, we have the September Students of the Month from Scott County Middle School. They are here with us to illustrate their accomplishments and leadership. And I don't believe there's a better way to continue to the important discussion around profile of a learner than with these real-life examples of the success criteria around it. Students, as I announce your name, please come forward to receive a Scott County Schools Challenge coin in celebration of your hard work. Do we have Grayson King with us by chance? I'm going to still read about Grayson King. 8th grader Grayson King is an effective and engaged communicator. Grayson keeps his group on task. He volunteers, answers, and responds to other students in an effective and engaging way. What about Troy Everson? I'm going to read Troy's as well. As also an 8th grader, because he is a resilient and creative problem solver, Troy takes the time to really think through his responses. He makes great inferences from reading in class. Me and Damon Stavanik, we had some fun today talking about inferences in a 4th grade class. It was very interesting. Got to pick on him a little bit. Annabelle Johnson? Okay, I think after this, we're going to have a strong finish, okay? Annabelle is a curious and adaptable learner, and she is incredibly receptive to feedback and is flexible and hardworking as she strives for excellence in her schoolwork, especially in her writing. I know the next one's here, so I'm going to go ahead and stand up and get in position for all the things. Maggie Holmberg. Maggie, come on up. Maggie is an empathetic and compassionate citizen. Maggie's always smiling as illustrated here before. She's friendly and checks in with other students to see how their day is going. And and me and Maggie share a career, don't we? Yes, we have Maggie's call that she was to provide us, but we take great care of that I have for you. Emerson Jerome. Emerson is a confident and responsible leader in and out of the classroom. He takes initiative and determines the course of action. Emerson works until her mission is complete. She thrives under pressure. Wow, maybe you are a future superintendent. Congratulations. All right, last up. Sean Harrison, come on up. All right. Respectful and accountable collaborator. Always great. Who works well with both adults and students. She asks clarifying questions, and it's great being a productive member of the team. She's incredibly efficient and thorough. Congratulations. Not necessarily part of the script, but it is interesting. A lot of the things that I'm measured on in my role are right on this list. I mean, lots of big stuff. Now, while Scott County Middle School cares deeply about data, Principal Beckett and her team realize the importance of educating the whole child. And that's why Scott County Schools Profile of a Learner gives specific employability skills that local businesses and families have told us are important to be future members of the workforce. We embed these skills into our schools, and Scott County Middle School embeds these skills into every class that they offer at Scott County Middle School. In the same regard, I'd be remiss not to embed recognition for a job well done on the part of Mrs. Beckett into our program this evening. As you may know, Scott County Middle School is ranked among the top 26 middle schools in the state on last year's state assessments. And we know they have their sights set on top 10. So, Miss Becky, would you please come forward?
All right.
Yay!
Yeah, sure.
That's great. All right.
All right. Thank you for joining us this evening. Number 4 is agenda approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, public comment. Mike Davis. There you are. Come on. Good evening.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
All right.
Thank you.
I always forget, just because you're so consistent. I forget the timer.
Throw your
so
timer on there.
I think DT probably has this as part of the
Make sure
bingo
you do
board.
this,
Does
whatever.
Mike stay on time?
Yeah, listen at you. Listen at you. Yeah. Listen, we were on time. We were on time with the meeting we had with him a while ago, so he
That
got
is
to
true.
pick up his daughter. So I mean,
That's
hopefully we
true.
can keep
Yep.
this way
Well,
too.
that's 30 seconds.
Is this thing on when it's red? Okay.
Yeah, so
I can't even remember. I'm not used
I
to
know
red
it's
being
opposite.
so.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, board members, Superintendent Parker, and the community people that we represent here in Scott County. On behalf of the Scott County Education Association, as we start off a new year, I want to thank you all for everything you've done for us. Each year brings challenges and opportunities, and I believe this year can be one where we can continue to make real progress if we continue to work together with what we've already started together. Over the last 3 years, we've been able to make huge improvements in pay, our work environment, and our culture in the district. Those steps forward matter. They've helped us not only support the people who make our schools run, but also begin to build a stronger foundation for our future. And for that, we're grateful. But we also know that there's always more to be done. Our biggest challenges, in my opinion, I expressed with Mr. Parker earlier, I would like to make sure that we take care of our classified employees. They're some of the lowest usually in most all school districts. And if we can do more to help them this year, I think it would be a plus. Since last year when we combined our locals together to one union, we think, we've really seen an increase in membership, and we want to help continue to have their backs and make sure that they know that we're trying everything we can. And I know Mr. Parker's already talked to me about a few things that I think are going to be positives for them. I just want us to work to improve everything we can for their lives as well, because the bus drivers are the first people that get to see our kids and the last people that get to see our kids. The cafeteria staff makes sure our kids never go hungry. The janitorial staff makes sure that our buildings are amazing, and every time you step foot in them, they're beautiful. And so I want to, if we can help take care of them. And then the same token, continue to make the strides we need necessary to compete with our neighboring counties with our certified pay as well. And not just pay, but making sure that we have everything we need to the resources wise to make sure the job's done properly, whether it be interventionists, possibly lowering classroom sizes, whatever it may be, that we can work to help continue to make inspiring student success the number one thing for all of us. And that's the last thing, that's the motto that I came up with for SCA when I took over, is I want to inspire student success in everything that we do. And that's that when we talk about things as a group in SCA, that's what we talk about. How can we lead to more student success? And if that means helping our principals, that means helping our teachers, whoever we can. We want to work as an ally. We never want to be contentious in anything we want to do. So, that's the things that we hope that we can do this year as well. We know in the media you've seen a lot of things with other school districts, and we're luckily not that way. And Mr. Parker's had a lot of conversations about that, and I think we've been great stewards of our taxpayers' money, and I think that's because of you all, but we've still been able to make strides in the same token while doing that. And I'm glad to see that we're not in those situations. The challenge before us always has to be that working together, to continually to improve the lives of our employees, strengthen our culture, and give our students the best education possible. We have accomplished so much already, but with unity, vision, and determination, I'm sure this year we can find our way to accomplish even more. Thank you, and I just want to read a few of our highlights. I've already gave it to Mr. Parker, and he's more than welcome to always share them with you all. But I think it's important to know that Southern and Ann Mason schools are piloting a new reading program designed to help struggling readers learn to decode and read fluently. They did a training this summer, and they talk about their instructional coach for special ed, Kelsey McKinney, has been doing a super job making sure that those special ed teachers implement the program properly, and apparently it's going really well. Courtney Keller and her Lighthouse team at Scott County High School are rocking it. The kids are visible leaders in the school. They've done one heck of a job with organizing events like our awesome pep rallies. Ann Mason, Anna Tipton, which Billy knows apparently, has been an amazing addition to the staff. She works very hard to support all teachers and has made lots of connections with students already. And our GMS people believe that they're struggling students are finally starting to engage with that, which I think is a huge positive. So I know that sometimes you get to hear some of the negative, just like whenever you call home, you seem like you're always calling home to a parent, talking about the bad things, but it's always nice to hear the good things. And like I said, I'd like to make sure that continues.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much for everything.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing with us. Okay, number 6, consent agenda items 6A through J.
So
So-
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any discussion? Motion carries. Number 7, construction report. I can see you coming out of the corner of my eye. Come on down.
And I saw it on the agenda, so I thought I'd get a head start.
That's right.
Good evening, everyone. We'll start with Oxford, of course, and that's just a picture of the rendering that I always start with. And what is that? Water on the ground. After one of the
That's from the spring.
So yeah, oh yeah, it's an old picture. No, after probably one of the driest Augusts ever. Of course, everybody knows we had some rain this week. In fact, maybe a little too much. It got really sloppy for them and slowed them down a little bit, but just a few days. In general, you can see they've still got one of the classroom wings are up and ready for roof deck. And you can see it rained a lot. It was even water in the corridors there. Steel construction still going on, block work, doing a good job on the block work, mezzanine steel deck going in place, concrete's going to be poured. We had a construction meeting this week, and Mr. Parker and several others were there. And of course, we always ask them, I should say we tell them we're looking for, the kids need to be in August. And at this point, they're telling us that's their goal as well. So they're shooting for it. Hopefully, we'll have a good winter. More steel and more block work here. Again, and that's what a lot of what's going on right now is coming out of the ground and going vertical with the block work and the steel work. So,
At what point or what month rather?
and that's a good question because that was one of the questions that we discussed, and they hope that by the beginning of December that they would be at least dried in with enough deck on that people can work inside so they can work during the summer. So hopefully by Thanksgiving they've got all the steel deck on and they can roll some temporary things and put some barricades over the windows because the windows won't be in yet, but kind of dry it in so they can start doing a lot of inside work. And just more concrete slabs getting ready to go in. That's vapor barriers underneath, and you can see the rebar. That's the gym. They've just been waiting on the steel deck there. I'm not sure there's much difference between now and last month on this one, but a good shot of all the steel that's in place. And that's where I'm standing in the storm shelter looking back. You can see all the slabs are in there. They're making some good progress on the storm shelter area. And you can see electrical and conduit and mechanical and plumbing pipes in the distance. So all the MEP work's going on. And, it takes a lot for them to get that in the ground before they even pour the slab. So once you see a slab poured, a lot of work has gone into place. So we thought generally good progress by them. The building pad is generally complete. And, of course, another thing we're doing is we've had a couple of meetings already on the interior colors, just to kind of minimize it to, not to bring you 100 options, but, get down to a point where we've got some color themes for the school and 2 or 3 different paths for y'all to look at. We're going to still compile some more renderings and color boards and maybe leave them here in the office so that, like we've done with so many other things, you all just come by and see him and talk to Mr. Parker about him, who's been involved in the color as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, and really, I think that's the next step, is we're at the point where we're ready to start kind of having some onesie Tuesday meetings where you all can come in and just take a look at everything. We're trying to, again, narrow it down to where it's not so overwhelming to where there's just, they're like the entryway. My gosh, you got 5 or 6 different little things that all, some play together, some maybe not so much, but anyway, we are about to that point, so that'll be something as soon as Tony says, okay, here's what I got, we'll be able to just go ahead and schedule that and get everybody in, and that way, next month, we're at a point where we might be ready to have some more solid decisions around those. So Tony's team's been really great. Couple of small little tweaks with some things that we were like, oh yeah, we're not even going to waste time with the board on this one because I don't think that would fly. So just we've tried really hard to we've been together, most of us, for some time, so we know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really excited about how it's shaping up.
Good. And I see your next agenda item, but it's spelled out so well on there, I don't even know that I need to repeat it. But it's much smaller than the last one. But I'll be right here if there's any questions on it. So,
Okay.
And that's the construction report. Any questions on Oxford?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Tony.
it. Okay. Number 8, approve change order 003 for New Oxford Elementary.
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any discussion? Motion carries. Number 9, student achievement report. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
I've got to make sure I remember.
See, you
how to
brought the
use this.
world's largest Cowboys fan with you.
I
for moral
did.
support back there.
I did. That's right. It's always nice to have some support behind you, for sure. Good evening, members of the board, and thank you for the opportunity to speak about the innovative alternative programming that Scott County Schools provides our community. Maybe. Oh, sorry. Our alternative programming is really an interconnected system designed to keep students enrolled and supported and on track to graduate. And today, that continuum serves 450 learners. Scola, our online academy, currently supports 337 students. PHC, our voluntary in-person alternative school, serves 92 students. SCAP, our structured involuntary alternative placement, is serving 11 students. And Homebound is providing instruction for students whose physicians have prescribed medical leave, currently is serving 10 students. I plan on sharing about the individual programs and upcoming slides. However, I feel it's important to point out that these programs are not separate islands. They really function as a connective pathway so our students can access the right supports at the right time by staying enrolled and supported and on track to graduate. The next slide that you guys have is a slide that will note just the contacts for each program, which includes a change from last year. We have Ms. Kelly Lee, who is now the principal for our SCAP program.
With regard to that, I will say I have gotten a lot of feedback from our principals. Just really pleased with the level of communication they're getting from me regarding slots, who's there from their school, what progress, all the things. So, Mr. Davis, back there somewhere, we were comparing notes. He was sharing some positive things about Ms. Lee as well. Really pleased to have her added to the team.
Absolutely. The next 2 slides are infographics that I'm not going to read to you guys, and they are really designed forward-facing for administrators and teachers and staff, which provide a concise overview of each of our alternative programs and the student profiles that each serve.
And you said that overview has been really helpful for our council.
Absolutely. So it has been super helpful, especially when we're looking at our dropout protocols for schools, frisks, counselors, and administrators to be able to look at to see if there's a program that would meet the need of a student more so than another. The next slide that you guys have are our campus houses 2 embedded mental health partners. One is called Ignition, and the other is called Mountain Comp Care. So students can receive intensive counseling without leaving their school. By bringing these services to us, we reduce barriers, we stabilize attendance, and we keep students connected to academics while they're still able to build coping skills and recovery plans. This on-site model is really a critical bridge for many of our students who are later, or some of them currently, are referred to some of the alternative programs that we offer. These programs ensure continuity of care and a safer, more supportive transition. And with that being said, I can't talk about these 2 programs without talking about 2 operational standout folks, and that's Josh True and Christy Collins. I know Christy's here tonight. Between the 2 of them, these are some of the barriers that we have with having Mountain Comp Care and Ignition there. Josh provides a bus for students, so students are able to actually ride the bus to our campus, and then they are able to eat lunch on our campus. Thanks to Christy, she really helped us with a programming and scheduling issue with lunch last week, and they were so thankful for her help in immediate resolve, which was very well received. These 2 folks have really been pivotal in allowing us to be able to maintain this partnership with our mental health providers. So I just want to thank them out loud. These services that are provided on campus result in fewer missed classes and fewer missed appointments for our students, which result in stronger continuity of care. And of course, the early intervention and ongoing counseling that we're able to help support reduces crisis escalations, and it supports the re-engagement of academics much quicker. The next slide that I want to talk about is SCAP, our Scott County Alternative Placement Program. We currently have 10 students in long-term SCAP and 1 in short-term SCAP. So just to give you an idea, each high school has 6 allotted spots, and each middle school has 3 allotted spots. And then there's also enrollment opportunities, of course, for a DPP. You'll see on the table how many of those spots are taken by each school.
Again, this is one where when we opened this last year, we started out the year, less than a handful, really, small, very small. And then I'll be honest, I kind of anticipated we would be full by winter. We weren't, but what I found and what I feel like we're still seeing too is that schools understand that they have these slots available, but they also are being, even though we have the district placement committee that's a part of making decisions, they're also, they're being cognizant of the fact that, what can we do for these kids? Maybe it's something that they can handle internally and doesn't require the level of care that they might get at SCAP. Anything that I missed on that? Or?
No, that's exactly true. And just to kind of build on your compliment of Miss Lee earlier, she has really built a blend of Leader in Me, mentoring. She's already had guest speakers in. She's got project-based learning going on where they are doing a community project where they're refurbishing the old science tables that were in that building that we are currently in. So students in SCAP are building practical skills while also focusing on personal growth. Miss Lee also is very intentional, like Mr. Parker had said earlier. with communication to each of the schools. She reports and has a dashboard of data that she reports to each school, which also tells them any setbacks or any progress that their students are having within the SCAP program, and that has been very well received, as Mr. Parker has already stated. Ms. Lee has also maintained and ensured SCAP staff have continued to stay connected to last year's SCAP students. And this has been very intentional. It was something that we knew was missing in previous programming for SCAP. And so the SCAP staff actually began the year meeting with the students who were there previously at their current school. They stay in a mentor relationship with them. They ensure that those kids' needs, that their needs are being met, and that their reentry transition plans are being met by their school. So we have found that to also be very receptive from our administrators from the other schools. We've already had 2 students complete SCAP this year, and we are very proud of that. One of those students actually has applied to BCTC, which we are very proud, and is planning to start in the spring. And the other student who is kind of showcased a little bit on the slide, he actually wants to be an electrician, and so Ms. Lee worked with the Kentucky Works .gov program and found an apprenticeship for him. So he will graduate with PHC at the end of this school year, and he's already made a connection with that apprenticeship program, which is just phenomenal. What you'll see on your slide is she has all of the kids are doing vision boards with goal setting, and he specifically said that quote, that while I was sent to SCAP for not doing the right thing, I appreciate the opportunity it has provided me in getting a plan to start an apprenticeship in Kentucky. So that's just huge, and being able to take his vision board home so that he can definitely turn intention into action. So we're super proud of how SCAP is going, and I couldn't say more, honestly, of how well it's been running this year.
Can I ask you a question since you're right there?
Absolutely.
All right, this is great. So I'm just very excited about this. I see you said they successfully completed. What is
Yes.
the criteria to complete?
So to complete the SCAP program, students have to complete 45 successful days, typically, is what
45,
needs to
okay.
be done. But they don't always earn a successful day every day.
Right.
So there are criteria that those students work for. And this particular student was also a credit recovery student who was also 18 years old and able to graduate. And so the focus for him was specifically to get his credit recovery classes done so that he could go back to work and do what he was wanting to do. So that is typically what we do with the SCAP kids. We look and we try to not fix, but we try to really fit a program to the student instead of trying to make
Right.
make the student fit the
That makes
program.
So is the 45 days the short term or is that the long
That's
term?
the long term.
That's the long term.
So
Okay.
yes, so
Okay.
teachers and administrators, not teachers, can send students or recommend students for short-term SCAP. It is typically put on the back end of an out-of-school suspension for schools. They can use that and send them to short-term SCAP for 5 days. What we can do is if they're not successful on a day, we can take that up to 10 days, and then we can do a long-term referral to SCAP if need be. So it's really a nice transition for kids. It's a little more intense than maybe what they would get, and Mr. Davis is the guy who runs that for us, and a lot of that has to do with programming and getting students to really focus on what landed them there to start with, and hopefully that they don't want to come back.
Right.
to the
That was my
long-term
next
program.
question. Do we see students coming back?
We have seen a success that students are not wanting to come back to
All
do
right,
long term.
okay, that's great. That is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So long term is after 45 days. So it could be
Long
year
term
or
is
less?
after the short term.
after the short
So
term. Okay.
and most of our kids do not get in long term
Okay.
from that
Right.
process.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, we'll talk about SCOLA. Scola currently serves 337 students, which is 100 more students than we had this time last year. You'll see the enrollment by grade level and by school. And
Now, Heather, real quick, but also too, it's 100, it's roughly 100 that higher than this time last year, but it's roughly what we ended with last year, right?
that's correct. Last year, we ended with around 360 students last year. So I still feel like that this is going to kind of balance out over the year. What we receive now is only coming from counselors or administrators who feel like Scola is really just a last result for kids, that they need that because of their mental health issues that's going on. A very positive thing that has come out of Scola this year is we had about 12 students who were part of PCA that were looking for a place to go. And so PCA, there's a cohort of families that wanted to try Scola, and they have a learning coach that they've kind of put together on their own. And our teacher, Ms. Franklin, has been working with that learning coach. We're able to provide her with the resources that are already in school's PLP and the learning guides and curriculum maps. And so that has been a really good partnership. I feel like being able to offer some things to our community, and it's really a win-win for us. I mean, we get those kids back in our district, but they also, they can still play sports now. They're enrolled with Scott County Schools, and they can still, participate in extracurricular activities if they want to.
So are they in like the home of that person, of that teacher?
I honestly don't know where
Okay.
they're actually meeting as a cohort, but I know that teacher, they have a couple of teachers that are really acting as the learning coach instead
Right.
of the parent, which is typically what
Right,
happens in
'cause my
Scola.
little cousin is doing that, so
Mhm.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heather, am I correct in thinking that students from other districts outside of ours can enroll in Scola?
They can, and we did see an increase in that initially, but over the past, 2 or 3 years, other districts are now offering online as well. So I do feel like without Scola in our district, we run the risk of our own kids going to neighboring
Right,
districts
right,
to do
sure.
online if we cannot provide it for them. So that is definitely something that we've kind of seen slack off a little bit, but we still have plenty of momentum, I feel like, in school.
I'd really be interested in the coach piece because that's new. I mean, just to see like, are they meeting? Because I know a relative of mine went to the school and now is homeschooled by a teacher that used to be a teacher, but I don't know if
Mhm.
they're connected to the program. But I think that's a really good idea, just to give them that connection with someone in real life instead
Yeah.
of being isolated. Because my concern is
Absolutely.
always the little kindergartner that's learning online.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how?
And, for me,
Uh-huh.
I feel like kids need to be in school.
Right.
Especially the younger that they are.
Mm-hmm.
And we do everything that we can, especially for our younger students, in
Mhm.
talking about the things that students won't receive if they're doing something from home compared to
Right,
if they were
right.
in a classroom in Scott
Mhm.
County. But sometimes those parents are going to leave us anyways.
Right.
And we would rather at least be able to offer them something to keep
Right.
them in our
I like
district.
the options.
For sure.
And again, as Heather shared, a completely online model is not my, it's not my favorite.
Right.
But again, knowing that if we aren't offering it and everybody around us is,
Yeah, we will lose.
the option's there.
Mhm.
And since it's a virtual option, you don't have to actually physically be in any community to be a
Mhm.
part of it. So with that said, I still believe and support the fact that we are creating a model and trying to continue every year to better perfect the model
Right.
to make sure we're
Right, because I'm
meeting
just thinking
students'
about. I mean,
needs.
it just kind of plagued my mind thinking about that coach. That would be great for the younger kids. I mean, something in the future if
Mhm.
we think about trying to up the ante for our district, still providing that online, but allowing the children to be coached by someone. I
Sure.
like that idea.
Well,
So,
and to some degree, I mean, we've had that since the inception.
Yes. So one of
Okay.
the other things that we do that I haven't mentioned yet
mhm.
is we do what
'Cause
we
I'm
call
talking over you.
modified.
I'm
No, you're
sorry.
fine. No, I'd much rather answer questions, I
Yeah.
think, than
Uh-huh.
try to read
Right,
from
right.
script. But with Scola, we pull data every single Friday.
Mhm.
And so we have a PLC meeting. We talk about the students who are not meeting the criteria, meaning they're failing a class or they're far behind. And so students get placed on what we call Scola Modified. And so we have a modified teacher, Miss Kirk, who it's really like an intervention. And
Mhm.
so she sets up time to meet with the parents, and those students have to come in for 2 hours twice a week, most of them, and they're required to come in person. And we can do that now because we're in our own campus
Right.
compared to,
Right,
you know,
right,
being
right.
here at central office. We
Right.
couldn't really bring a bunch
Yeah,
of kids in at
that's
one
true.
time. So that has been, I think, a game changer in the amount of kids that we sent back last year.
Mhm.
And in previous years, we were having to send kids back to their district, you know, to their homeschool much
Mhm.
quicker because they weren't able to do it on their own. Now we can provide that level of support, which is, I think, a definitely a positive thing that has come out of being at our new campus.
Heather, on Scola, real quick before we turn the page there. So last year, of the students that we had, you know, because one of the things when we're talking about just our students that attend in person, we all know and understand that the funding's derived from attendance. This is a little different. So Heather, would you speak to us a little bit about how the attendance credit's a little different and what that looked like for the population we had last year?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the reasons that we are, you know, pulling that data every Friday is that we will not get funding for students who fail a course. And so these are performance-based courses, and so the students have to pass the course in order for us to get funded for that. And so we are on top of that, pulling those kids very quickly and determining whether or not this kid is going to be able to be successful. And many times, you know, we have sent letters saying the data is showing that your child cannot be successful yet in an asynchronous environment, and they need more support. The Modified definitely helped last year. We ended the year, you know, with over 300 students, and we only had 3 students who didn't complete by the last day, and those were 3 really were extenuating circumstances. But the kids that finished with us in Scola, we received the maximum amount of funding for those kids.
And those
And-
3, did we get partial credit for those 3?
Right, that's true. We did get there were just a couple of classes that those students didn't complete, and so really we still made more money than if, you know, if they weren't going to school at all, or, you know, a lot of our kids are kids who have a lot of truancy issues. So we still were able to have some funding from them, but by and large, 99% of our students, they completed to 100% of all of their courses.
Yeah, I mean, well, and if you're saying it was 360, 200 or 357,
Yeah.
99.167 is literally what
Yeah.
that rate would be, and that's not including the fact that the 3 got partial
Yeah,
credit too.
we still
So
got some credit for those kids.
that certainly exceeds what our in-person funding would have been.
Yeah.
So
Heather, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
As we're looking at this and we look at our elementary school numbers, of course, those are our lowest enrollment numbers. And then we go on to middle school and we go on to high school. Are we finding now that we've had this program for a little bit of time here, that these kids are coming from elementary, sticking with us through middle school, and then jumping up to high school? Are kids sticking with this program?
We have had a select few kids that have stayed with us through elementary and middle school.
Mm-hmm.
we're only like, 4 years in, right? So
Yeah,
we
we're
might not
only
have
4
a-
years
Right, I
in.
get that, but you know, you're looking at the cusp of things like a 5th grader, a 7th grader. You know, what are we finding? you know?
There are, I don't have the specific data. We could pull that information for you, certainly.
Mhm.
But just on just purely based on subjective
Yeah.
looking at things. I honestly feel like a lot of our elementary kids, parents will oftentimes end up going back to in person
Okay.
because they do realize that kids, those are not the same 21 kids that were in Scola
Right.
last year.
Right, okay.
And by and large, that happens a lot with middle school too. And
Mhm.
so we do have some that are returning, but we're seeing we're not having the exact same group of kids all 4 years.
Okay.
Um,
Again, for
like I'm
me-
not trying to work myself out of a job, but
No,
I mean,
I'm
we
just-
don't.
No, it's, the
I've
need
said
is
that to her
there.
multiple times, though.
No, we, obviously, with over 300 kids,
Yes.
we have a need
Yeah.
that we're fitting, and that's good because obviously we did this through COVID, and,
Yep.
and we felt like we wanted to continue it.
And
So
Certainly.
I agree.
Yeah, and again, I think too, our intention was for this to be a soft landing for whatever the situation may be with in person that wasn't working, and I'm sure not in every case, but it is nice to see.
No, I get that,
Yeah.
and I
We're-
appreciate all of that because we're hitting the need at least for 300 plus
Right.
kids, right? And
Absolutely.
that's
And
I don't
they
care
will
if it's
not
10 plus
be in
kids.
school.
I'm
Yeah.
thrilled that we have that to have people engage.
And one of the
I was
other
just curious as to how we're noticing that population, and if those kids are saying, "Oh, hey, I want to go back in person," and then I'm assuming with our high school numbers, because those are our highest, we have a lot of students who do work programs. They take online classes through colleges, AP,
that's exactly right.
all those different things. Am I assuming that correctly
That
as
is
well?
exactly right. We
Okay.
see a lot of those students. And kind of getting back to what I was sharing earlier about that interconnectedness between our alternative programs that we're able to offer, the same happens here when we see a student who is not doing well or for whatever reason has kind of hit a red flag list that we're concerned about, then I can recommend to that student, hey, why don't you apply for PHC?
Mhm.
Like, they come in through modified and we realize this kid really would benefit from having more social interactions. And so because we're there on campus, even this year, like I walked a student over and said, I want you to think about this.
Right.
Like, here's why PHC might be better for you than
Mhm.
walking in the grand spaces of Scott County and Great Crossing, because a lot of our kids, that's overwhelming for them.
You're right.
So, yes, a lot of those high schoolers are either doing jobs or, like you said, BCTC, dual credit kind of things, or by and large, it's also a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Heather was sharing with me the other day about a student. We were trying to find a way to address an assessment that the homeschool was trying to see if we could work in, and it wasn't working. But the reason it wasn't working is because the reason the kid's in school is because he's working a real
Mhm.
job.
Wow.
I mean, he's working a real job and still
Going to
pushing
school.
forward and through and trying to get his education. So, again, it's no different than the equestrian stars that we have that are a part of the
That's right.
program. All the little one-offs in the world that want to be a part and still have a place with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also it's important to mention iReady because those are also conversations that we're able to have with our elementary and middle school students. And so when we get that data back and we see that this student is 2 years behind or they're already, struggling, we have those conversations with parents and we're able to say, hey, I really feel like your student would benefit from more support in person, and here's why.
Mhm.
So having that level of data is also important for those younger kids, and that's been very beneficial.
I was just talking of Scola today with a homeschool parent, and I said, you might want that guidance from
Mhm.
professional licensed teachers,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it might be a program to definitely look into. So I'm 100% behind it all. So please don't think I'm thinking otherwise.
No, not at all. And then, of course, we have Phoenix Horizon, and Phoenix is a voluntary alternative school for kiddos at risk for multiple reasons. They're at risk for dropping out of school. And so we just wanted to really highlight some of the amazing things that are new for PHC this year. And we did give you a little bit of a table there of how many we have in each grade level. We do have some Scola students that are also PHC students, and those are not counted, though, in that total 92 that we have in person. New this year for 25, 26, we have our Lighthouse team is going strong at PHC. That's a picture of them there on the slide. We actually, Tommy and I, Mr. Fitzpatrick and I relooked at working the schedule, the student schedule, and we were able to put in, like some of the other schools do, a selected time for our Lighthouse team to be able to meet every single day. And it's also tied to one of our PLP classes called Career Readiness. And so the teacher who is doing that, Ms. Kirk, has done a phenomenal job in getting this up off the ground. Our Lighthouse team is also helping Mr. Fitzpatrick with family time. That's something that they do with the students at PHC, with a lot of grounding every single morning. They all meet as a group. And the Lighthouse team has now started taking on some responsibility there, from everything from Meaningful Monday to Feel Good Friday. We also have a new media arts class this year at PHC. They actually created the note cards that you guys have in your packets tonight. They've done some amazing, some things that have been very well received and on display at PHC, from About Me posters, and they've been very proud of that. One of the greatest things that we have accomplished already this year is with Mr. Pelfrey, our JAG teacher. He is new to us this year for the position and to PHC, and man, he is knocking it out of the park. He has already had many guest speakers. He's had SROs in there talking about interpersonal skills. He's had the Air Force already there. He's had HR directors. He's had welders in there. And I just can't say enough about the difference that makes for kids when they can see things in real, from a real person, to be able to ask questions about those pathways. We already have field trips that are planned for college fairs and Toyota, of course, and BCTC, and then the much anticipated the Paul Mitchell School that we have a large group of girls who are really looking forward to that field trip in November.
Yeah.
Mr. Fitzpatrick was very proactive last year in outreach and making sure that we have that pipeline of referrals for kids who need us most at PHC. So we're very happy about that. It matters because, when we get these students in the early referrals, and we're able to provide them with pathways so that they can actually graduate and keep students enrolled and progressing in their credits. I'm super excited about how PHC is doubling down on leadership and community this year.
Can we get some school teachers out of them?
I think we might.
Because that would be the best.
Yeah, for sure.
So we need to do a field trip in the elementary schools.
Yeah, and they are actually. We have a group of kids at, and not just our Lighthouse team, that actually do a mentorship program with the preschool, with Garth, and with Southern. And so that was already in place last year, and it went great, and we're excited about continuing with that this year.
Great. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yes,
That's right. That's
yes,
right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because some of our best teachers that were the worst students because they know, and then they can connect. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Last year, I know the numbers at this time for PHC were a little different. Right? Is that?
They were lower last
Yep.
year. I think Tommy and I were getting our groove together last year and, trying to kind of really wrap our arms around like what we wanted the vision to be and how we were going to really improve the scheduling and experiences that the kids were having. And I really can't see anything moving forward other than just continuing to grow that program.
And I do. I'm glad Tommy's here too, because I do want to just commend you all. Thank you all for. Because my thought last year was, if we've got these spots, we want to make sure we've got kids in them. because we know kids want to be
Absolutely.
there. And so this year, I mean, we had some openings and you all filled it, and I mean, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great. Really
we're
happy about
running.
it.
Things are going great there, and it is. Tommy can attest to this. Being at PHC, the kids know like they have to covet their spot there, and a lot of them don't
Wow.
want to go back to their previous school, and so those conversations. Not that we don't have the same things that are going on in the other high schools, but hey, you want to buy into what we're doing here, or we've got 20 other kids who want your spot. And so that helps us to help continue to push that community and that feeling of belonging at PHC, which is so important. And really, that really comes down to what I wanted to share here at the end. And that was just saying that this is more than just programming, it's an impact. And honestly, you guys as the board have made it possible to meet students where they are at, and we don't let go of them. And I think that's really the most important thing. I could not be happier and more proud of the interconnectedness that we're able to do. Miss Lee said something that I wrote up on my board when she first started, and she said, it really feels good to be a part of the solution. And that has really stuck with me because through this connectedness, through the programs that I have not seen in any other district of what we're doing here in Scott County, we can make differences, and we're able to truly find the program and build what the student needs instead of trying to push every kid through the same pathway. So I couldn't thank you guys enough for believing in those pathways and understanding that they're not just a luxury. They're a lifeline for our kids who are at risk. And so we want to thank you guys for that and for continuing to support us. And my last is just kind of what we've been saying and teaching the kids is that, together we do great things because we are transforming alternative education in Scott County with extraordinary opportunities. And I'm excited to see what the rest of the year holds. So I'm happy to take any questions if you haven't already
I was
asked.
going to say before you do, if Tommy or Mike, I know, is anybody else here with Phoenix, if any, or any of our flexible education programming, if the two of you wanted to say anything.
I mean, I appreciate your work stuff, especially with Phoenix. And I'll talk to people in other communities, other schools that don't have that opportunity. And it's funny because I usually do all the ILTA meetings. I'll meet with every guardian and student come in the building, and a lot of the parents, of course, being at the old Scott Middle School and at the old Scott High School, we got parents saying, "Oh, I went to school here," and middle school and high school, stuff like that. And then a lot of them too are saying like, "I wish they had this much."
Right.
Because I could. And so I think that's why we're getting so many parents supporting us and on board as well, because they realize the opportunities that they have are so limitless. We've provided them with a lot of other flexible choices. So really just appreciate y'all supporting this. This is my 10th year from Cardinal Academy all the way to Phoenix. And like you've always supported us ever since I've been part of Scott County Schools.
Do the seniors have opportunities to do an internship off campus?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's
So
good.
we do have
Yeah.
students who participate in co-op. We have a kid that's in the 4T program that
Okay.
got in last year and was just ecstatic about that. We have kids who do dual credit at BCTC. So we have kids that,
that's great.
so we've
Yeah.
really tried to make sure that we continue to offer the support to help those kids in those pathways. So it's great things.
Just quickly, I've been involved. I came when the building. Opportunities have been afforded, vision, ideas, something different. Has taken where I don't believe I've been all over the place. I've been I don't believe anywhere that's lead. We always talk about being the leader, not the follower. That's one thing without a shadow of a doubt. All done has changed what it means to and we've got the right people in the council, doing the right thing. The opportunity years ago, I know dropout. Okay. Okay. What we're doing right now, they, people that
Stephanie has been kind of teasing, not teasing, just like we're considering trying to find a way to take this show on the road for others across the state and nation to see
That's
what we've
great.
got going on, because it truly is different than really what anybody has. And to kind of echo a few things that I've already heard, you know, sometimes I think you can get the feel from people that I don't know, maybe through past experiences or thoughts about alternative school, that kind of thing. You know, this isn't a place that you stick kids, that you put kids, that you want to send kids. For us, you know, whether it's SCAP, whether it's Scola, Phoenix, whatever, I just hope to the board it is and really even the community, that it's crystal clear that we are honoring the board's wishes, and we're striving to create a place that fits the mission of providing meaningful opportunities for everyone. Really proud. Really proud. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank
I also am aware too, you know, this is a campus that, you know, the student to adult ratio's much lower, you know, and so sometimes there's that piece, but again, that's why we've really focused on making sure if we've got spots available, they're not sitting open. We've got kids in them. So anyway, that's all I got.
Thank you. Long way from Cardinal Academy. That's-
Yes, it sure is.
It is for sure. Yeah, it's been a treat to watch it all grow, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, it's been really neat. Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, with the 3 programs, yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for the oversight. Okay, back to it. Number 10. Approve additional platforms to Scott County School traceable
Mhm.
communication system.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any discussion? Motion passes. Number 11, appoint calendar committee and select member to serve on committee for the 2026-2027. Can we have a nomination?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Becky Nelson to fulfill that, please.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Any discussion, Becky? Are you okay with that?
Yes, I enjoyed it very much last year and look forward to working with.
I thought I
with
might
everybody.
ask.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, just, you know, so, yeah, and
My God, we're on the cusp of fall break. I mean, it's
I know
next
it
week.
next week.
So I hate to follow a joke with being super serious, but while we selected a member, I'm not certain that maybe the motion appointed, but I'm not sure that our motion appointed the calendar committee to meet, to be convened. If maybe we could revisit that. Is that, Miss Ratliff, is that what you?
Appoint
So
calendar
we're
committee and
implying.
select member to serve on. This is just selecting a member, I thought.
We collect. Yeah.
The calendar committee is
Oh,
Okay.
I'm just going from past experiences
Yes.
and making sure that,
Yeah, get it clear,
all I
get
know
it
is I haven't
clear.
taken a vote yet.
Okay, I'd like to move, no, do I make two?
Just one.
it's just a combo,
And-
yeah.
And, okay. I'd like to make a motion to appoint a calendar committee, and representing us would be Becky Nelson, who has agreed.
My apologies, but
Once again, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any discussion? Motion carries.
Mhm.
Okay, number 12. Approve, ratify the following positions 12A through 12D.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any discussion? Motion carries. Number 13, approve emergency certification for one theater teacher at Scott County Middle School.
So moved.
Second?
I have a discussion. What degree does one have to have to be certified?
oh Lord, Miss Crystal Horde, that probably wasn't on the bingo board, but yes.
So each teacher either have to have a degree, or
No.
certified.
English.
In order to do a standard.
Yeah.
It's actually, I've got. Yeah, I was just curious.
Good question.
Yeah, well, honestly, I mean, that's similar to what I was like, what? I
Think about that.
had to be reminded as well. Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Did we get a
Aye.
motion in a second?
Mhm.
I
Okay,
do.
my apologies.
And then we jumped to the discussion ahead of time, but that's perfectly fine.
That's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Okay,
It's supposed to be before the vote.
yes.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? No discussion.
We are at it.
Motion.
We did our discussion.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Motion carries. Number 14, let me use the words. 14, approve school resource officer memorandum of understanding between the City of Georgetown and Scott County Board of Education.
It's
So
really on there.
move.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just said it's really on there. I know we've talked about this one a few
Yeah.
times. That's all.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 15, approved revised memorandum of agreement with Cultivate Behavioral Health and Education and Scott County Board of Education.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, ratify, approve general contract for services between Scott County Schools and Franklin County Schools.
So
So moved.
move.
And second.
Any discussion? All in
I
favor?
I
Oh,
just,
sorry.
before we vote on this, assuming that the board is agreeable to this, the Franklin County Schools, very thankful. They wanted me to
Mhm.
personally express that to you all.
Yes.
I think it's,
Glad that worked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it is
Exactly.
wonderful. We can do that for them.
And
Sorry.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, approve the 2026 working budget.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 18, approve the 2024-2025 Technology Activity Report.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 19, review Booster Club agreements and documentation for 2025-2026. Number 20, approve surplus items as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Number 21, financial report.
Have prepared for you in your packets, the summary of cash activity and the financial reports for August 2025. Our beginning balance was $71.3 million. We had receipts of $5.7 million, expenses of $12.2 million. Our ending balance was $66,111,745.53. Of that, $7,237,526.41 was invested in the construction account, leaving our ending cash balance at $58,871,814.02. Any questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Number 22, approve current bills.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 23, superintendent report.
I will start off the script just a little bit. I believe in your all's packets, you all have a district leadership day information. So Franklin Covey, the group that brings the Leader in Me to school districts across America, are coming to Scott County Schools. The lady and the gentleman that came together to create the initial curriculum for Leader in Me will be in Scott County October 22nd, and from 8 to noon at ECS. So we wanted to make sure you all were aware.
Is it Saturday?
Don't believe so.
Wednesday.
Yeah. There will be, well, Stephanie, if you want to, there should be people from across the state here.
I didn't take a day off. Okay.
Wants to attend across the state to come work leader that we call Scott County.
Yeah.
Being highlighted.
Yeah. So part of it will be they will be in our schools and in our classrooms. It's a again. That's right. Great opportunity.
Is this something we can attend?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I'd love for if I'm sorry about the timing, but
No, but I said I wanted to take a day.
okay.
Just take
Okay.
a day.
All right.
I want to pay for my sub. Y'all want to pay for my sub?
And are they doing the promotion or are we?
Now getting more to the typical report. You'll find Oxford Elementary sprinkled throughout under strategic leadership. Just, again, given the pattern under which we have structured and built the school, the kitchen and cafeteria, by the way that it's just worked out, has to be kind of the last space that will be built up. As a result, I wanted to make sure, since Christy Collins is new to her role, she had awareness around everything, which she had. She came in and it was crystal clear. She had some awareness, but I just wanted to make sure it was clear between her and Tony and Greg that if there's things she's noticing that aren't right about it, let's wave the flag pretty soon on that. So we just wanted to kind of make sure we were all speaking the same language and having the same understanding about things. I also put under strategic leadership, not really strategic for me, really strategic for the sheriff's office. They had their ribbon cutting for their new sheriff's office, and they were very strategic in wanting to put it there because of the fact that it's located so closely to so many of our schools, and it would give them a very quick response time, being right there off of the bypass. So I did want to mention that, was able to attend that. I know Diana was able to attend it as well. And I got a chance to go tour it a little bit. It was pretty impressive.
I haven't toured it yet, no.
Yeah.
Is that over near Toyota?
Across from
Street.
Great Crossing.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There's a
Two
very
license there too.
very bright light that
License.
illuminates it at night.
Yeah.
Mm.
Isn't that funny? Where you live on east side of town, and I live on the west side of town. You wouldn't have any reason to know it's there. 'Cause you're trying to drive.
I don't drive that.
Could be so convenient.
Well, there's the traffic divide of town that I know.
Oh,
When
it's
I lived on the
unbelievable.
east side, I was you
Mm-hmm.
try not to cross if you don't have to.
No, you don't.
You only wish it was by Toyota.
Yep. The under instructional leadership, so we we keep getting more serious with regard to the JROTC program that we're hoping to offer. We're at a pretty good spot at this point. We've got a meeting. I think we still have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow with our principals to secondary principals kind of circle back and tell them kind of where we are. And then I know we've got a meeting in I believe 2 weeks with a gentleman that represents JROTC across the state that's going to come in and meet with us. The first focus is just thinking through all the logistics, and we had some counselors there and the principals. And then the second meeting was really thinking about it through that just curriculum focus in terms of, okay, logistically, how in the heck can this possibly look for it to work? Right now, we're marching along with the thought that it may be a lot like 4T and be in the basement of Scott County Middle School. The space is there. It gives us that opportunity for both schools to be apart to where we don't run into the problem that we have had in the past where maybe, you know, if the enrollment was at one school, if it was at one school or the other and the enrollment was not quite where we want it to be, well, that's a little bit more challenging. Having it at a neutral location makes it a little bit easier for us to pull that in. Again, you know for sure, probably more than everybody at the table, how challenging that can be. But it would be a situation that is very doable. Right now, if we stick with the option that I believe will probably be presenting to you all, it would mean that we would need to start transporting at one additional time throughout the day for students to get to and fro. But it's not well, I take that back. One additional time first year, probably 2 additional times the second year. But it'd be a bus, maybe 2. So it's not a tremendous cost as far as that goes. Again, as a reminder, this would be something that over the course of many years, we might eventually get the funding from the federal government, but we won't straight out the gate. Straight out the gate, it would be us completely bearing the brunt of the cost. I do think I think the community that we're in, I think we're, yeah. I think we're poised, and that's part of why we don't qualify. Is some of the measures and indicators, we don't tick all those boxes, but they completely understand that we are a pro-military community that wants to support our military, and also too, for me, I love the fact that there's a lot of advantages that the military can provide to our students beyond being in these programs. So hats off to, again, our school principals, to John Knoll and to Amanda Burrows, who have been a part of all these meetings and working through all that curriculum piece. Really appreciate the Georgetown Police Department. They came to Phoenix. I think it was last week. I don't know. It all runs together. Within the past few weeks, they came and honored a student at Phoenix. And the student was honored because away from school, off campus, there was a situation that happened in which involving one of our elementary students, and he stepped in and helped out without getting into details because I can't, in a tremendously major way. Mom was teared up, had people tearing up. She was super appreciative of the recognition. She had spoken of things in her, just in their personal lives and her faith and prayers that she had asked for and that she felt like were answered with this. It was a great situation. The student, I believe, is pursuing Marines, I believe, right? Yeah, so we were able to connect some dots there with the student and members of the department that have some connections there. So it was just a great event. We stopped everything. All the students got to be a part, and they just thought he was a big show. It was awesome. I went to Southern Elementary also, and as I did on the first day of school at Georgetown Middle School, I got to spin that wheel, and I'm in a house at Southern Elementary. They're doing the house system as well, a little bit different because their house system revolves around, the theme of, Southern Stallions, the theme of horses. So they have 4 different Triple Crown horses, and you can be in one of those houses. So we've got, it was a good time. It was a really good time. Enjoyed my time there. Oxford Progress Meeting, again, that's something we're just making sure that we're walking hand in hand with them. I've really appreciated the relationship that we've been able to develop with the folks there. And Amber Kerr came up to me the other day. She's like, "Hey, I wasn't trying to say you had to be here for anything." I was like, "I know. They're good people, and we're really, really pleased to be working with them." We mentioned the interior colors, so I really won't go on too much on that. The Kentucky Association of School Superintendents has they have basically 4 main events throughout the course of the year. They have an event kind of in the fall, which just concluded. The governor came and spoke. A lot of talk about preschool for all, but also supporting the work that we were a part of. We also got to hear from a variety of legislators, and the feel was very collegial. It was I just feel like the past few years, things are feeling more, I don't know, they just feel better. I don't know how else to put it. They just feel better. So that was good. Not to say that they told us they were going to wave magic wands and grant all our wishes, but it was a very, very, very helpful interaction that we were allowed to have through that. Scott County Public Library. So got to have a meeting with the Scott County folks from the Scott County Public Library, and I know Renee's been a part of some of that, and the executive director, Ms. Kozlowski. I always want to. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I was worried I wrote it down. I don't want to butcher it. But we got a chance to meet, and we're working through some things that we will probably be able to partner on. And just really excited because she comes to us from Tennessee. So unfortunately, I think she's of all, Brenda. But otherwise,
She's good.
she seems to be a pleasant person. Just this morning, had a meeting with the Georgetown Scott County Planning Commission around Oxford and redistricting. Very helpful information was provided there. I got to give kudos to Josh True. On my birthday, he showed up with this binder. I don't know if it was intentionally supposed to be a birthday gift, but it felt like it. And he had said, here you go. He had just kind of taken an opportunity with all the information he has at his disposal to kind of, knowing what we'd kind of talked about, he's like, here you go. Here's the draft for what we're looking at with Oxford and Eastern. So we've started with that as our draft. We've made some tweaks. We met with the Georgetown Scott County Planning Commission. There's one particular piece where I was just a little worried about as you travel down Old Oxford, after you get past Abbey Road, on your right-hand side there's just a bunch of farmland. And, my concern is, of course, what are we looking at here? But they had a lot of good information for us to suggest areas we need to be concerned about, areas we don't. I feel better and better about this as the more we're able to talk about it. And I feel like, too, we'll be in a position, we've had so many conversations with so many people that have so much data that while not everyone might agree with exactly how it ends up teasing out, it'll be really difficult for anyone to feel like we haven't at least understood what this means for families and that we haven't really put all we could into making sure that we've got a really solid plan for redistricting. Lexington Tennis Center. So it wasn't on my agenda. Wasn't on my agenda for the day when we actually went, but as we've talked about some resurfacing at Lemons Mill, we did want to go and see some striping that they have at their center. So me and our district AD took and learned some valuable lessons on some things. So that was pretty interesting. And then last but not least, we hosted what David Young, the executive director of CKEC, says is the largest meeting, or I shouldn't say largest, the meeting in which the most members of CKEC participated. There's 32 school districts that are a part of CKEC. We had 28 come to ECS to talk through the kindergarten, first grade retention bill and trying to walk through what that's going to look like. It may be some things that we'll end up discussing as a board that pertain to some of that in the future. Not quite ready for that, but that was a great event. We have stuff there all the time. So I really, truly thought there'd be a handful of people that had never been there. I mean, they were there and talking like they were like, I've never been here before. They were talking about the building like it was brand new. So then I had to make sure Mr.
It's still on Winchester Road, the same.
They came to us. I'm sorry. I wasn't
ECS.
clear.
That building, yeah,
We
okay.
hosted it at ECS.
ECS.
Yeah, because I brought it up. I said, David, I'd be willing to host, and like if you need a place. But they talked about it like it was the greatest thing in the world.
It is nice.
And again, it is nice, but I also give credit to you can't have a place that's that old stay that nice if you don't have great custodial staff.
Yeah,
And
that's
so I
true.
made sure Mr.
Yeah.
Carlette knew. I said, Henry, look, kudos to you because he's been there not quite since the opening day, but pretty dang close. And he does a phenomenal job. I mean, I had to go track him down to tell him praise because he was out there picking up trash in the side lot there. So great event, great look for our district too, to be kind of trying to lead the way on some things that are, that are coming our way that we've just got to figure our way through. And I apologize for the lengthy report, but Madam
No,
Chair,
that
that
was
concludes
good.
my
That was
report.
good.
Well, thank you. Board comments, Eleanor.
A week ago, Mr. Parker, I had the pleasure of going with him and Becky Nelson to some of our schools. Some I had never been in, and like Mr. Parker said, the custodians do a wonderful job. And we went to the preschool, which is wonderful. They're absolutely precious. And that, I just was really impressed. I kind of like the tricycles, but they were, but also visited, Fort,
You got it. There you go.
Fort T, and if you have not been, you need to go. It is very, very impressive. It's, I liked it all, but they have a Camry, and it is, it's a honey of a vehicle, and they were gonna crush it,
Oh.
because it had, the safety belt,
One bolt.
one bolt.
Yep.
And so they brought it in, and the students are going to get to work. I mean, it's just beautiful, brand new. So anyway, we went to Scott County Middle and had a student guide us through, and that was kind of neat. Since I taught all my years in Scott County and Scott County Middle, but not there, believe me, not there. Very nice. So anyway, when we went to Georgetown Middle, they took us to the Paxton Patterson College career lab. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The teacher was so nice. So anyway, it was just a very, very nice day. And next morning, and I feel like being a member of this board, I need to get into these schools and see what's going on. Talk about them. But it was very, very interesting, and I'm glad I went. Thank you. Thank you. Did I leave out a school?
Well,
We visited
I have to
Oxford.
thank Brent Allen because I wasn't able to be there for
Yes.
the whole
Yes.
did go to
tour
Oxford.
because I was kind of double booked. So
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Yeah, I spent Friday and Saturday with the KSBA Board of Directors. We had our quarterly retreat. We also got a visit from the governor's office.
Cool.
Wasn't quite as collegial, but it was interesting. Very interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Wendy?
Well, I'm excited about this October 22nd. I'm taking off. So I just want you to know.
These meetings are recorded, so
No, but I'm gonna take a personal day. I'm gonna take a personal day.
I was joking.
No, because I really, like you all said, I really want to get in. It's hard, working. But one thing that I just wanted to highlight is that we value employees. And Mike, I just want to thank you for bringing up the positive, because as an educator, you hear the negative all the time, and we don't know. But I know right now I'm in a good situation because I'm being valued as an educator. And so I just want to continue to say we need to make sure we value our educators. And I know this board will definitely do that. And I know the people that are sitting there behind us there will do that. So thank you, Scott County, for valuing. And if somebody doesn't feel valued, just come see me and I'll give you a hug. No, but thank you. Thank you so much for valuing us as the board. Thank you for the behind the scenes conversations, phone calls, the text messages, both of our leaders doing that. So thank you all so much.
Okay.
Yes, I know I've mentioned before that Eleanor and I belong to a local chapter of an international organization, PEO, which is Philanthropic Education Organization. And our mission is to help women further their education. This is done basically by 5 different scholarships that are given. And I am a co-chair of the STAR Scholarship, which is given to a high school if she is selected, because these nominations come in from all over the the nation, and a board selects these young women to give the scholarships to. But we interview, my co-chair and I interviewed 2 young women at Scott County High School and 1 at Great Crossing High School who were recommended by their principals. They were all outstanding. It was just a joy to see these very successful, very motivated for the future young women who are all going to make a difference. So it was really hard to select, but we did select one from Evelyn Hoover from Scott County High School. I've already sent in her nomination, which is fairly extensive, and then she'll do some work toward it too. And then one of the other young women at Great Crossing High School was equally qualified. We've put her out. It may be another chapter in the state that needs somebody. We'll pick her up. That has happened before. So I know at least the last 3 years we have had a Scott County senior woman get a scholarship to go on to college through our organization. So we're really excited about that. And we have an annual fundraiser I might want to mention to you all. It is, I have these lovely brochures here. If anybody's interested, pick one up. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be at Chinkapin Brewing downtown on October 22nd. And there's going to be a singo. There's going to be a little zombie thriller event. There's going to be...
Same day.
Yeah.
I'll be,
You just,
I'll be a part of it.
you
too.
just go straight from leader to me?
Yes, that's where I'll be going.
straight out of
That's
right.
I'm in the
Go
club.
Singo.
Yes.
Wendy
And the
will be
single,
there
and I
to go
won.
because she's off school. So
Yeah, I'll be out of school. Yeah.
But anyway, it's
I
going to
had
be
fun at
fun.
Glass
Yeah,
Singo.
that segues. There you go.
It's going to be a really fun time, and the proceeds will all go to the scholarships that are being awarded to our women who are needing them to further their education. So I hope to see some of you all there, but just really proud of these amazing young women that we interviewed.
Okay, well, thank you. We, at this time, are going to move to a closed session, so just to let you know, we are going to be holding it in this room. Thank you for attending. You're welcome to come back in and reconvene if you'd like to, but
Do we
at
need
this
to-
point, number 25, move to closed session pursuant to KRS 61.8101F to conduct student discipline proceedings.
Have a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll just sit here.
Yep.
Thank you all.